Well, welcome back everybody, Smithy here with another Star Wars build episode, and we're back in the main hangar, and we've got a lot to do today. Well, we're gonna crack on with stuff anyway. One thing is I want to take out one of these, because remember I made it in that one there. I'm going to take that one out back to my other schematic world, and I'm going to start sorting that out and how it looks. We've got to look at the size, and then we need some new ships to go in here. One of the first ships that we're going to look at is the Y-wing, because we haven't done any Y-wings, and I've been looking on planetminecraft.com and I can't find one exactly that I want and how I want it to look. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to head over to my schematics world, which will be updated again. I hope you all enjoyed the map last time. I hope you've had a look around. I've noticed there's quite a lot of downloads, so I'm very happy for you to do that. Remember, if anybody wants to use the map in videos or anything of the such, please put a link to my YouTube channel in the description, and also credit me please, because it's taken hours and hours, probably weeks of work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use MCEdit. I'm going to head over, take this behind me out, the GR74, take it out of here, and then I am going to then do and show you some Y-wings, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So welcome to my MCEdit schematic world for the ships, and for those of you who already know, thank you for downloading. The one that's available on my Planet Minecraft page has got these versions: the TIE Fighter, the Super Duper Troop Carrier from which is actually, when I think about it now, this has had hundreds of downloads, so thank you very much guys for downloading that. As you can see, it took a lot of work, but it is highly detailed for the size when you compare it with the X-Wings. It's a Super Duper Troop Carrier, both the flying version and the unloading version, which took me about 2 days to build and off. So, but the number of downloads, it really pleases me how good that must be. So there we go. Anyway, let's come back to what we're here today. I'm going to come back to the Y-wing because we've got two over there, one being there. First of all, transported this one in, and I'll give you the names in a minute, but then I found another one which I'm going to work with. However, I need to change which one aside. So anyway, let's go back to the GR75 medium transport that we've got in our world. Now, one thing I've been doing my research, and one thing that I've always said, is that this the actual size of it from all records is supposed to be 90 meters by 30 meters by 20 meters high. So this is the one and only, or the best representation of this vehicle in Minecraft. And let me just explain something. This is the one I transported in from my Hoth base, which I changed. Now, unbeknown to me, of course, which you should know, when I transported it in, it changed. It changed the world, and you can see here, look, it's basically brought, because I transported it in, it brought in the cold from Hoth. So what I need to do is I need to go back to the drawing board and start from scratch. However, this particular one is, if in terms of Minecraft time, it is, in fact I've got the size here, it is 124 blocks long, but sorry, it's 240 blocks. Yes, 240 blocks, which is quite interesting. And it is, well, it's literally 100 wide, so it's too big. Well, it's too fat, and I was looking at that. It's basically, it should be 90 by 30 by 20. So if we were to equate that, if we were to put it to scale on Minecraft, it would be 270 blocks long by 90 wide by 57 high. Now what it means is it's too short for the width. So either I would have to take, and I've worked out, I'd have to take 20 blocks off, which is 10 rows either side to make it narrower. So if we took 10 off here, and I wonder whether I actually could, because if I go 10 blocks in, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, we'd be taking it back to here, and I probably, let's have a look and see. Yes, we could actually. Yeah, so we could actually take two sides off it and make it narrower, and it would be okay because it would be narrow. It wouldn't have it such wide on this side, so it would actually work in terms of size. So that's what I might do for my build. What I'd really love to do in future is actually rebuild this and change it. So what I'm going to do is basically leave what I've done and then leave it inside. I'm not going to do any major refits to it. What I'm going to do is, for my build, I'm going to leave it in the world as it is. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take off 10 blocks either side because I can, and then it will just have to be like that. Also, the fact on the models I've seen, this could be wider, so what I could do is actually take off, when I do it, is take off one row to make the gap wider. I might do that when it comes to here, so instead of being 2 or 3, I could make it 4. It is an absolutely exceptional vehicle, and Shard Schaefer made this, and I've put the link in the original video description. It is awesome. It's one of the most awesome Minecraft starship builds in Planet Minecraft, because he's done 3 different versions. Remember, he did the version over here which is empty, this version which is the flying version with the cargo, but this one's empty completely, so this I think was the base build. And of course it was built pre 1.8, so as you saw I was able to convert it using the new 1.8 blocks. But when you look at it like this is absolutely brilliant. The underside of this, what he's done, is superb. That's literally like it is, and it does look absolutely brilliant. So it's a pretty impressive vehicle like that. So what we could do on the map, I think I'm going to put the flying one in, but I have to do some conversion because it is ace. Right, anyway, coming back, we're going to now go and have a look at the Y-wings, and I'm going to turn the light off. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with these, because I'm going to have to adapt them to match the sizes I already have for the my versions of the Snowspeeder, and this is my Snowspeeder and my X-wing, of course. We'll be back shortly. Yeah, so one final thing to mention, so really speaking, those are slightly too big. However, they look so good on my map. I could have endeavoured to make them smaller, but I like them with my map, so I'm not going to spend 6 weeks in building those like someone else. We're going to concentrate on the smaller craft. And let me tell you about these two. If you go onto planetminecraft.com and put Y-wing in, you will get these. And let me compare, because also I've gone online to find the size of them. Now, in terms of shape, this first one here is quite a true representation of the model itself, although it's not been made in metal or stuff like that. This is Johnny Coolwater. Johnny Coolwater has done a load of small Minecraft vehicles like this in terms of this size, which is the size we're working with. So that is a really good representation. You can see that the front end sticks out on a base, and it looks pretty neat, but it's too small. So the representation is absolutely spot on, but it's too small. Then there's this one here, which is bigger, and in terms, forget the front pod bit, the representation here, just to here, is virtually spot on. However, it's supposed to have a much longer neck. You can see from there, it's supposed to have a much longer neck that sticks out. And in terms of size, it is nearly twice the length of the X-wing, from the tip of the nose to the back of it. So what I'm thinking of is, this is a representation. I'm going to use this one because it's high detail and the right size incurred of width. I think I might have to go a bit wider, but I'm going to stretch it and use this particular model and reconvert it with my own blocks, because yet again this was made in the older Minecraft, if I'm correct. Let's just have a look. It might not be. Yeah, it's been made. Oh no, it's got it has been made with the more modern blocks. I can see that, and so it should have some guns on. That's a bit clever. How's he done that? Oh, it's a hopper. Wow. Now I like that, but it could stick out, so you could stick something out in the front, because there are 2 lasers on the front, and I would change this to the new 1.8 stone as well, so that'd be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use MC Edit just to stretch it out, because it's easy just to use MC Edit, cut and shunt I call it. We're going to cut and shunt it, and then we're going to come back and show you what I'm going to do with it in terms of the build for this episode. So here we are back, and this is the cut and shunt as I call it. I've literally split apart this model. So this is going to be the BTL Y-wing Starfighter that I'm going to make, and yeah, I'm going to rip this apart now, but I've got the exact size compared with the X-wing in terms of it's almost double the length, it's roughly the same width, and it's going to need quite a bit of work because these are quite a bit wider in terms of where they are, and also they're a bit longer at the back and sort of go out, so it's roughly here. This line that I put in was when in MC Edit you need to put a little bit of a line in to work out in the middle, so I'll just take that back to where it is because I don't need that there, but the idea is that you should actually map it out to search, and I'm going to take it out that way so you don't see that. I think I'll actually keep it as search, and I have got a superb, if you go onto Pinterest, not Pinterest, onto DeviantArt, there's a guy on there who does these. He's absolutely brilliant, and he's done all the vehicles, and he's done them all cross sections and whatever, and he does some fantastic artwork. So that's as it looks. It's going to look pretty smart once it's finished. So we're going to have like almost an army full of vehicles. So you can see, really, once you look at this, you can see where I've got the sort of size. This one here is just a larger size model of this one in terms of size and shape. So what I've got to do first of all is put in, I mean that actually is pretty, it needs to be a bit bigger. It's pretty exact, the front bit. So what I'm going to do is, I love all these little heads and stuff here. Being very clever with this. It's used heads, and I want to know where that one's from. I have never seen that. I don't know where it's from, so it's very cleverly done. I don't know where it was a custom piece really, more than anything else. These are all little heads, of course, and bits and pieces. So right, where am I going to start? Well, I'm going to start with, if I can just see the cross section from this way, and everything's going to be built this way. I'm going to start with this in terms of the engines sit much lower. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on that. The engines do sit a lot lower. That's going to actually look quite good once I kit it out. So first things first, I'm going to do bits and pieces. I'm going to sort of join together. I'm going to use, instead of using these, well, I'm going to get rid of the blocks as I go. So like this will be replaced by that, by that, by that, and then I'm going to start hacking into it. But there's different levels. Just have to be very careful with this, and almost like I've got to look at the blocks here. Let's go back to there, the block. I've got to look at the half slab, and not that one. Where's the stone slab? Let's just go stone. It's there it is, that one. That's one of my favourite blocks, and it's just getting it exactly right where it comes into there. So that is that little bit. I have to come up a bit. So literally this height will be it. It's going to take a bit of time and effort. Love the door there, but it's going to be, once I get it going and I'm happy, it's going to be fine. This literally goes back to a certain point and then goes higher as it's such. And what I'm going to do is going to do the basic outline, and then I'll do the fillers afterwards. Yeah, that is roughly where those engines are, and then it'll get wider. That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to do the fillers. It'll take a bit of time, got that. It's going to be a bit wider there as it goes, and then what I'm going to do is start filling it in and then work it out. So same here really, these are much wider, so it's going to be it's going to be 4 wide that. So I'm going to use these slabs first of all to put them in, and then I get to set it up, and then I should come back once I've done a bit of filling in as such, and they will come back like that. See, so you start by getting the shape exactly right. Oh, that's way wider on that one. It's going to go back 5, not 4. Might even go back 6, so it means it just shows like that, and I'll probably end up like changing it as I go along in terms of the shape. So I will take that like now, and then I will put, it might be a bit low-see, we shall see, like this as we go. Yeah, it is. It's sort of right as a centerpiece, because the center bit is much bigger, so once I start filling the nest it will start coming together. I'm very confident. These are also wider, so this is just almost like a skeleton structure before we start adding it. Remember I did it with the Millennium Falcon as well, just like a skeleton structure, and then we can, once we get that, I'll be much happier. Right, I'm going to do a bit more as the sun is setting. Just going to take a quick snap for Twitter. As the sun is setting, we shall come back. Right, here we go, guys and girls. So we are going to show you where we're at in the middle, because this is like the boring bit that I sometimes don't show, and people say, how do you get to A to B? So this is, see the difference in size here. I've now used the standard size representation from some of the authors to get this exactly right in terms of the the Y-wing. However, it's not quite, it's not white, because that's got to go a bit further at the back. But what I wanted to show you is, let me get the basic shape of the vehicle absolutely spot on in terms of the outer shell. Now I haven't done the front cockpit yet. All I've done is like the front bit here. I'm trying to match up with the exact shape over here, and that's the wrong time of day. Times, oh no, that's capital letters. Yeah, I'm trying to get it exactly like the sort of right dimensions, right size setup, and then I'm going to add all the features afterwards. We'll go here. So basically what I've done, as I said, I've got the basic shape of the vehicle. You can see the difference between that side and that side in terms of the engines. I might find when I actually finish it that I might have to move the engine that way, but I don't think so. I think I've got it right, and now it's touching the floor with the size of the engines, and then I'm using iron at the side. Now it's similar to this over here. They've used white, which I think looks pretty cool. And I haven't put the yellow in, or the orange, and I haven't done the cockpit yet because that's a bit difficult. But it's sort of saying to you, this is a basic design to show you where it comes from and where it goes to. I have got this from a varied amount of pictures on the internet, and that's what I work with. And what I'm going to do now is show you the actual final design picture that I'm actually using. It's a very highly detailed version of the picture, and you can think that, well, I've not got there yet, and no I haven't, but I'm getting there. I've put the basic design here. You will see that this, I'm just working on this and how to work this ridge in here. I've sort of started using these just to sort of get some sort of detail on it, and when it comes to the wings, I will now head across the picture. This sort of detail the original designer put on, I'm going to bury, but you can see the sort of detail I'm going to try and recreate at the end. The R2 head is down here on the picture design, so you can see, but this represents that sort of size model over there. The cockpit's going to be bigger because that's the only thing that was this small, so this, and it might come back to here and end up here. So again, I've just got to get it right. So let's go and show you the picture that I'm using from DeviantArt, and this guy is superb, so I'm going to give him a mention as well, really. So let's head across there and show you the picture I'm using for this design. So let me first of all show you this picture, which is a sort of size comparison between the different vehicles as opposed to people. Now you can see the X-wing has a really narrow nose and cockpit, whereas the Y-wing does not. It has a sort of bigger cockpit, but it's still the same size representation. But you can see the size of the craft compared with the X-wing. I'm going to show you another picture. And then there's this one, which is sort of size comparison with actual models. We haven't done the A-wing yet, but it's quite small. And this is the X-wing, obviously Y-wing. Now you can see the back comparison here is look at the R2 unit. The R2 unit on here is, again, it looks quite big compared to the craft, whereas the R2 unit on the Y-wing does not. And obviously Millennium Falcon, I'm not sure really Millennium Falcon's exactly, but it's 30 meters. I'm just trying to think how long it is. 19 meters. I've got one more picture to show you, the picture that I'm actually using to, and look at the design, look at got all the pipe work and everything that's on the Y-wing, and I'm now going to give you a high definition picture to look at. Now, before I talk about the Y-wing here, you can see straight away that the detail on these artist impressions are superb. This guy, Unusual Suspects, that's by Unusual, all one word. Suspects is SUSPEX on DeviantArt, and he has got an absolute raft of Star Wars, Star Trek vehicles on DeviantArt. Now let me just show you, this is really high detail stuff, and if I click into this, if you look first of all the top down menu, you can see that once you get the basic shape, and I'm working, you will see in a minute, see the R2 unit there, basic shape, you can get all the pipework on, and I do intend to do some of this pipe work, and I've worked out how to do it, but that's a top down view, of course, so it really gives you perspective on the real color quality stuff on this particular Star Wars ship. Again, the canopy area is quite basic really, but it's got some mini ion cannons on. So let's look at a side view, and this is what I'm working with. I say when I looked at the side view, got to get the engines in perspective with the cockpit. You can see the cockpit, even though from the top down menu it doesn't show you it's got a roof, it's got all round viewing, and it's just trying to get this engine at the top. And this bit here, you can see I've built that in. The neck has sort of and you'll see in a minute from the side view that it's got this quite sturdy central area. I think the R2 unit would fit in there and sit on the floor. So let's have a look at the front view. The front view, this is what I'm working with. You can see again, you've got these super duper engines here, and then you've got the cockpit, which has got a wide area from front to at the back. It's wide, but again the cockpit's quite narrow. If you think the X-wing has got a really narrow nose cone on that. And finally, this is my favorite view. This is what I'm using, and again you can see the detail here of the back of the square bit here, and then you've got all this pipe work on here. I'm going to endeavour to do that. What I've played around with, and we'll see how we go, is you can see that's quite thick, but that's because of this pipe work here and this pipe work on the bottom. So the actual strut, the wind struts are narrow, so I've got to pay particular attention to that when I finish it off. You can just see the narrowness here, and I'm going to try and build some of the detail into that. I won't be able to do things like this, but if I'm clever, I'll be able to put some detail in that as in terms of the model. So that's what I'm working with. I'd say go and check out this guy, because let me just show you the other one. I'll just show you this one. This is where I got my GR75 medium transport, and this is one of the only few guys on the web that's actually put the right size on, which is 90 by 31 by 19. That's why, and when I looked at it, it matches up a lot better. That this bit from here to here needs narrower, as in earlier in the video, and look, you can see the front end's a bit more open. I think it's one of my future projects. I'm not going to do it as part of now. I'm just going to use his model because it is simply the best one on Planet Minecraft, but it's got these sort of areas here which are built in, and there are various pictures of GR75. This is much smaller than the one on the model, but again, go and check this guy out, Unusual Suspects, and see all his models. He's got hundreds of drawings that he's done there. So there we go. So right, we're going to head back for our final bit, but that's what I want to show you, what I'm working with to make the Minecraft model. Right, back to the world we go. So welcome to where we're up to. Yeah, I've done quite a lot since last time. And I've put quite a lot of detail on. The biggest problem I'm having is with the very different types of engines that are available, and also different colour schemes. I'm going to stick to that one in terms of... Now let's start with thinking what I had to do. In the end, I had to cut a row off. It was too wide in the centre, so I literally cut a row off, because once I started putting pipework on, like these are pipes here and here, and then there's pipes at the back going round and the back in, then this rise, I found that this was way too wide. So it did have 2 rows of slabs here, and we've cut it down, narrowed it down. So then also, because I cut that down, I had to also cut this bit down. It's not as exactly as I want it, but you can see that I'm trying to get that, it's lots of steel and pipes, and also it's almost like a bare bones aircraft with all the innards. Now usually you get like all nicey. The only nice on the original one is the only nice bits are the nose cones on these engines. Then the engines on the originals are very much like the pod racing, almost like pod engines. And probably someone will tell me that yes, one of the pod racers did have Y-wing engines or something very similar. So what I've done, you can see there's the old one over there, and there's that one. You can see how I've done it. You can also see the shape of it now, and I've used railway tracks and all sorts to make it more industrialized, because when I started looking at them, there's like 6 different, there's a base model and there's 4 different versions of it, upgrades over the years from the Star Wars universe, which is quite interesting how they've changed them. So in the end, it's taken about an hour and a half to do this particular bit. In the end, I've decided to put pipework like this on here because of the limitations of Minecraft. I think in future, because I'm sticking with this particular area, it'd be nice to rebuild this with say a mod pack with hundreds of different types of blocks on it, I think, which would be good. But we are sticking, for our series, we are sticking with 1.8. So we're looking at that. So you can see now that I started then to do the engine, and the only way to get circular round bits is to use the white blocks, because that is the only way that you can actually get sort of a cone shape on it. The only problem with that is sort of carrying on these engine bays here, in terms of you could sort of carry on down here. Now I have thoughts about, I've tried several things. I've tried doing this, but what would be really cool is if I had these in this sort of different texture. So in the end I decided that would look a bit too much, so I'm going to have to stick, for this particular model, I'm going to have to stick for the white blocks. Ooh! Well. Now see, you keep trying these things. Why didn't I try that before? And then what we do is almost get, that's actually far better. So I should have thought of that, because it sort of goes that way. Also on this particular side, it'd be really nice to be able to do, yeah, that's really good. So yeah, we can actually put that in. That would actually look a lot better. So it's one of those things, this is what I've been doing for like hours, trying different blocks and different things. The only problem is we haven't got like flat, oh no, I don't want that. That is not what I want, because now the snow will fall. Over there, the snow has fallen, and it's over there. I'll take it off afterwards. Yeah, this was built on here, so it's pretty good. Yeah, that actually looks a lot better, and I'll keep that there as well, sort of keeping it sort of industrialized, keep that like that. That sort of gives it more like a shape. There's the engine at the back, so I'll keep that steel there. I missed one there, look. I'll keep that design because it sort of gives it that still industrial look. That's probably about right. Can't do much else. It's the limitations trying to do a nose cone with single square blocks. It just doesn't work. And what I really wanted to have is quite a few more flat slabs, because then we could really go to town on the design of the nose cone. But hey, we're using 1.8, so that's how it is. That's actually a lot better. Yeah, that's actually a lot better. And then I had to extend the rear engine here. So there you have it. That's the end of this video. We're sort of halfway through this. Haven't even started with the cockpit yet. So what I'm going to do is, now I've got that cone there, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to be coming back next episode and we'll finish it off and then start placing them into our world, which should be dead exciting, with some more X-Wings down on the base. So thank you very much indeed for watching, guys and girls. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Once I finish this Y-Wing, I will make it available on this world. It's basically going to be on this world, so you can do what you want with these ships, as long as you give me credit for what I'm doing, and because as you know, it takes hours to do this sort of thing. So far I've been working on this Y-Wing for around about 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45 to try and get it sort of looking like a Y-Wing. So there you go. Please like, please sub, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much, and bye bye.